Amigas y amigos de hoy 89.7, todo el pop, todo el tiempo. Soy Emilio Catalán y tenemos la fortuna de estar, con un tipazo. Estuvimos platicando con él, aparte compositor, cantante originario de Nueva York. Y pues le damos la bienvenida a Max. How are you, Max?
Bien, ¿y tú? Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, muy bien.
Porque aparte estamos platicando con él y habla muy bien español. You speak Spanish very much. What words do you know, Max?
So many random words. Rápido, arriba, ¿dónde está el baño? You know, the classics.
Because you understand it, man. You were telling me there's a story behind that.
Yes, when I was very little, I had a nanny from El Salvador. So I was that kid when I was like 3 or 4 that was just speaking more Spanish than I was speaking English. But then I lost it, and now I'm trying to get it back.
Do you want to learn something, Max?
Yes, please.
What do you want to learn?
Oh my gosh.
I can teach you.
What could I learn if I were on stage? What's the best thing to get a crowd excited? Like, what are a phrase or words?
Like to be, you can go and say like, ¿Qué pasó, México?
¿Qué pasó, México? Of course, yeah.
And they're going to be like,
¿Qué pasó, México? Of course.
Happy, yeah.
That's a good one.
And tell me, this is your first time in Mexico?
I've been here a few times. I've been to Mexico City. This is my second time. I did Corona Capital a few years ago.
Okay.
Mwah.
And what do you like about Mexico so far?
The people, the energy, the fans are so passionate, which is amazing, and of course the food is spectacular. So
yeah, what do you like about the food?
Delicioso.
Like, tacos de pastor?
Yeah, that's literally what I just had last night. I was at midnight. Yeah, I just went to a stand on the side of the road with a bunch of amazing people, and el pastor con queso.
Pastor con queso. We also saw you were in Xochimilco.
Xochimilco, yes.
Like yesterday in your stories. What do you think about that?
The best.
So
relaxing. I laid in the sun. It was just, it was amazing.
You went with friends?
With friends, yeah. With my wife and 2 of our best friends.
And you ate like the food that
Yeah. They had
quesadillas or...
Yeah, quesadillas, yes. Plantain chips. Oh, my. Okay. Amazing. They were freshly made by our guide. They had a lot of mezcal and tequila. I didn't have any of it because I don't drink, but they enjoyed, so from a distance.
Cool. I didn't know that.
It was great.
Okay, so let's talk about your music and your story, Max.
Please.
Because so the people that is coming into your project, can you tell us your story with the music? I mean, how do you start it?
Yeah, well, some might know. I know. I'd say one of the biggest starts for my career was Nickelodeon. I was on a movie called Rags that had a lot of music in it, and I appreciate all the fans in Mexico for the love on that. And then I started just really releasing my own music, and Lights Down Low is one of the first songs that really connected, and it's been amazing just to follow my passion and dream, and people keep listening. So thank you to the fans. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, because when you were in Nickelodeon, you also were like the singer of Nickelodeon. You were like part of this group of artists. So how was it like to work in this company?
I had a great time because for Rags, for example, I had an ukulele that I would play, and in the movie that wasn't written. I just came to the audition with it, and then they wrote that into the movie. So they really embraced a piece of my heart and spirit, and I think that's what hopefully translated to the audience, that there was a piece of our souls in that movie, and so I appreciate Nickelodeon for giving me that love.
Yeah, congrats for that, man. Really.
Gracias.
Now you're launching this new album that is called Stereo Love.
Yes, Love and Stereo, exactly.
What's the story behind this album?
Oh, it's all. I'm a diehard romantic, so there's a lot of mucho amor. It's just so beautiful that I get to write songs about my wife, who's almost 10 years together, and then my beautiful daughter. She's 3 years old now. So just different perspectives of love, and that was the inspiration for creating all the songs on this album. And then just finding the lust for life and dance and just fun.
Yeah, because you're really talented, man. You are also
Gracias,
composer, you are producer. We're going to talk about that.
Yes, yeah.
But let's talk about the songs of this album, because there's a song that is called Stupid in Love.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that is with a very special artist that is Huh Yunjin.
Huh Yunjin,
yeah,
exactly.
Can you tell us about that experience?
Oh, incredible. She's just such a wonderful person and artist, and the universe really brought us together. I get to co-write and work with BTS and their producers, and I was working with their producer P-Dog, and they said, do you know Le Seraphim? Would you like to... They want to work with you. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm honored. So I got to go in, and they gifted me an album that Yunjin had written a letter for me on, saying she was a fan and she wanted to work together. So we met in person. We're both from New York. We just bonded, and I sent her Stupid in Love, and she wrote her verse, and the rest is history. It's been amazing to have her a part of that song. She really elevated it, so I'm grateful for her.
Well, when you were telling me you like to learn languages.
Yes.
And you're trying to learn Spanish, Korean, a lot of languages. I mean,
yes.
What words can you teach us? Like from
what words can I teach you? Oh,
yeah.
Sarangeo is I love you. Sarangeo.
Sarangeo.
Yeah.
Okay,
What else? Let me think on the spot. Obviously, annyeonghaseyo is hello. Annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo. Or annyeong is just like short annyeong.
Annyeong?
Yeah, annyeonghaseyo.
Haseyo, okay.
What else? Those are good ones. Sarangeo. You know, I'm all about love, so I always learn I love you in different languages.
Oh,
so,
man, that's amazing.
Te amo, sarangeo. Mahal kita is from the Philippines. I might make a song with every word of I love you at some point.
Okay, amazing. Do you have plans like to making music to other language like creating music?
Yeah. Yo, I have a deluxe version of Love in Stereo that's going to come out later this year, and I've been exploring different language versions of the different songs with other artists. So it'll be a surprise to see what languages I try to tackle for these songs.
You're really good, man.
Oh, gracias.
You also have this amazing song that is called Strings.
Strings, thanks, brother.
With a great artist that is called Jake.
Jake,
and
yes.
Also, how was that experience?
Oh, so cool. Jake and Bazzi. If people know that Jake from Golden Hour, I'm a short king. I'm very proud of it. I'm 5'6", and I think that Jake is 6'7". He's so tall. So just, two love song guys, completely different heights. He could have played basketball. I definitely couldn't have. And it's just awesome that we bonded over the music. And he's a really sweet guy. I loved, we made this video online where it's him and he just rises up as he's standing. I'm really short and he just shows how tall. Yeah, exactly. So besides the height difference, it was great to work with him as an artist.
I mean, how did you met each other? And you said we have to work.
Oh yeah. I've been a fan of his music. I love the music and he invited me to a few shows. And finally, I started the song Strings. And for me, when I collaborate with an artist, it always has to be natural. And I also have to kind of hear it. I feel like I can hear it, how their voice would sound on the song before they join me. I don't know what they're going to say or anything, but I can just hear their voice. So with Jake and Bazzi, I sent them the song Strings. And I thought maybe one or the other would want to do it. Okay. And they both wanted to do it. And so I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? So then luckily we were all fans of each other. And we said, why don't we just do, a 3-person song, and that's how it worked.
Okay, amazing stories. You also have more songs. I mean, what's your creative process, like your max creative process?
Yes, my creative process, I love to, I have a lot of, in my phone, I do, I'll just get hit with inspiration. I'll do a little title, or I'll get a little melody, and I put it down. I call those little nuggets, and then I take those back to the studio, and then I experiment. And for example, I have a song called Blueberry Eyes, and I had that title in my phone. I was like, I want to write a song called Blueberry Eyes. My wife has these beautiful blue eyes, and that's how I felt. And then we get in the studio and then I just expand on that and we wrote the song. So it usually comes from a small little piece of inspiration and then we just explore in the studio how we can flesh it out.
Okay, you talk a lot about your wife. Can you tell us the love story behind that? Because you have this song Stupid in Love, but you're very good in love then.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the story behind that?
The story, we met, I was on tour, and funny enough, I'm in Mexico with our best friend who introduced us is here, so we've just been exploring Mexico City together, and it was really special. We met, and I was on tour with Fall Out Boy and Wiz Khalifa, and she came out to a show, and I thought it was the first time I'd been single in a long time, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be single for a while. No, I met her and she was it. I mean, you just know, and it really is that cliche you hear. And the next date we had, I asked her to fly out to the next show and stay on the tour bus with me for our second date.
Okay.
And she was crazy enough to say yes. And so we've been together ever since. So it started there. And then we got married in 9 months after that first date. And we've been together for almost 10 years.
That's a great story, man. Do you have hobbies together? Like also music, but
food, fashion. we do it all together. That's what's great. She comes all around the world with me, like here in Mexico City, which is great.
Wow, she's here.
She's here right now, yeah. Okay. My daughter saw her first show of mine in Korea, so it's amazing that my family gets to experience this crazy adventure with me, and they're the foundation, they're the core, and I write songs about that.
Wow, because you are in Mexico right now, and you have your family, and they're going to see you because you have another show that is really important. And you're going to open the show from Jonas Brothers.
Yes,
you're going to be part of this show.
I hope so. Yes, we're coming back in August. Nick is unfortunately sick for this round. It just was announced that he postponed the shows tonight, but gives me another reason to hopefully come back to Mexico City and do some shows with the Jonas Brothers guys. Hermanos de Jonas.
Do you have shows soon?
Hopefully, yeah. We were supposed to do it tonight, but he got sick, so hopefully August. I've been doing. We were just in Korea, Philippines, and then New York, and then here. So shows have been nonstop.
Okay, you always dreamed to be a musician?
Yeah. It's always I've loved it. Growing up in New York, I would just busk on the subway and in Central Park, and I still feel like that kid. I feel like I just am so lucky that my job is to get to play music. It's amazing.
Because we're really good at dancing too. We saw the videos.
Gracias, señor.
What's the story behind that? I mean, you're really good at that.
Thank you. I'm trying to get better as much as I collaborate with far better dancers than I am, and I try to just soak up their talents. But I think I just have always loved to dance. I think it's just been something that I was always dancing on my living room table as a kid and seeing shows and reenacting them. And so, if you love dancing, don't be afraid to dance. It's important. Life is about dancing, right?
What's your best show by now? Like that you Max say, this is my best show I ever like.
Wow, great question.
Ever had.
It's hard. I've done thousands of shows. What's my favorite show I've done? I would say I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan. I'm big into basketball, and Madison Square Garden is just like the place for me.
Man.
And a few years ago for the playoffs, I got to do the national anthem at the Garden, and then do a performance at the playoffs for the full Madison Square Garden, and it was really special. Combining my passions for other things, and then what I do. That was a memorable experience. I sat courtside. Sting, the musician Sting, he comes up to me and he was like, "Great job on that anthem," and I was like, "This night is insane." So that's one of the most memorable nights of my career, for sure.
Man, it must be amazing. Congrats for that. Congrats
gracias.
for your career, for all what you're doing now.
Thank you, brother.
Do you want to invite the Oye fans, to hear your album Stereo in Love?
Oh, yeah, yes. Oye fans, te amo. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you can go listen to my new album. It's called Love in Stereo. Hope you enjoy, and muchas gracias.
Perfecto, muchas gracias Max. Pues ahí lo tienen Max, un tipazo y qué historias sacamos en esta entrevista, de verdad. Están en Hoy 89.7 todo el pop, todo el tiempo. Soy Emilio Catalán y seguimos con mucho más.
Slay, peace.